Hi, it's Lee from Impressions Hairdressing, and today's video is going to be just a little update on this. As many of you know, some of you know, throughout lockdown I've been doing something called the kitchen collection, which quickly became the office collection, where I've been cutting these mannequin heads in various shapes and stuff and sharing it on my social media. And it's been really fun for me, and it's something I'm going to continue doing after lockdown. It's a great way to share haircuts. It's great in a salon to be able to share haircuts, do haircuts on people, but of course, quite understandably, you're doing them to people's preferences, to likes, dislikes, the likability factor as I often mention. With these, obviously, Doris doesn't mind what I do. So it's a great way to share haircuts, not worried. So for instance, this fringe in here, it's a great way to show that to someone. There isn't many people that I could find out on the street that would be happy to have their fringe cut this short. Doesn't mean that this style couldn't be worn longer, but when you're showing haircuts off, like this, you need to do something a little bit different. I mean, this is still a very commercial hairstyle, which I'm going to go through with you in a moment, but it's just got that slight edge with the front. So what would you call this hairstyle? Well, just going to go through and sort of show you now. When you're looking at this from a client perspective, or a hairdresser perspective, hairdressers would call it lots of things. The easiest way to really kind of explain this is that it's got a kind of bob shape, but what it's got is what we call disconnected layers in this area here. What this does is just stop it from being one-dimensional, one length, but a little bit more different from just, say, having it kind of like graduated at the back. It's got the graduation at the back, but you can see up through here, the way I've dressed it here, you can see the texture and the layers here. So this is a great haircut for somebody that's got a fair bit of hair, I would say, reasonable hair, likes bob shapes, wants it changed up. Now the front, as I said earlier, is quite strong, but you can imagine this doesn't have to be this short, it could be longer coming across. There's a lot of variability. I just wanted to, particularly with this particular dressing of the hair, make it have that difference between the texture and the straightness here. You can see I kind of, I blow dried it much more traditionally straighter here. This from the back just looks very graduated, and the strength of line, you would think it was just a normal bob, but you can see from the style here that it's a lot more versatile. There was a lot more potential softness in the haircut. So it's got a lot of kind of interest, texture, versatility. Again, if this front was longer, you'd have that versatility as well. So as I said earlier, it works really well as a versatile haircut. Now, who wouldn't have this haircut? Well, I mean, you've got to kind of see that this creates a lot of volume here. So in that respect, you could have that kind of finer hair, but you'd have to be very, very careful from seeing here that, that you had enough hair to kind of do this texturing through the top. But this is the thing, when you're working with clients, you can vary things. So you might have this kind of shape here, but you might not, if your hair was finer, you might not have gone into the layers into the top, or you might have left them longer. I actually when I originally cut this, had it longer on the top. The what we call disconnected layer was longer, and then I cut it shorter. So there's a lot of variation that you can make with this type of haircut. This is why I kind of avoided giving it a name, because hairdressers would give this a name, like disconnection, but what it really want to demonstrate to clients is the versatility. It almost goes back into this short long idea, where sometimes people will say, I don't want a long haircut, but I don't want to just crop it all off. And this is moving in almost into that short long idea, where you've got kind of quite a lot of hair still, but it's not falling into this kind of, like, though this is the same haircut, you're not falling into this traditional, more kind of slight graduation at the back, and then kind of like almost like a bob shape. It's got that bob shape, it's got a lot more versatility into the shape, and texture. And you can break this up more. You could obviously, if you did like the shorter fringe, a lot of people wouldn't want the solid side of that fringe, so you could break that fringe up a lot more as well. So it's a very, very versatile haircut. So just thought I'd share this with you, something to think about. Particularly if you've been kind of stuck at that kind of length and you don't want to go a little longer, but you want to go shorter, but you think, I don't want to go really short. Great place to be. If your hair's been feeling a little bit flat, coming up, as long as your face shape suits it, coming up shorter, and with the graduation and disconnection, will give you a lot of volume, a lot of versatility to the haircut. Anyway, hope this helps, and speak to you all soon. Bye for now.